Let's drink some coffee and chat about books. Delicious. Let's just do a wrap up of the books I read in the second half of January. So I read 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, and this one was really good. I enjoyed this one a lot. It talked a lot about what happened in the past. I felt like I wanted to see more of them develop a future or a present for me to feel like they were yearning for each other. But overall, I thought this book was really good. I actually ran out of my white chocolate mocha sauce today, and so that's really disheartening. I feel like it adds so much flavor to the coffee, so that's disappointing. But anyway, I was saying this book was really good. The FMC's daughter in here was hilarious. She was like this little therapist, and she reminded me of my daughter. My daughter is super sassy and witty, and she knows a lot. And even though she's only 7, she will roast you. So I had a good time reading this. I really did. I read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and this book was so good. The scream I screamed, the scream I did when this came full circle. I am so dumb because I was not connecting the dots up here. It just wasn't connecting for me, and I loved it. I love interconnected standalones because when the characters make appearances in the books, it makes my heart so happy. I don't know why, it just makes me so happy. But Justin was such a good guy. I loved him. I loved him. He was such a good guy. Emma's mom, Amber, I will hate that woman until the day I die because the shit she put Emma through was unforgivable, and Emma kept forgiving her, and I was like, at some point we have to let toxicity go, even if there are parents, cut them off. But it was so good, so good. I enjoyed this so much, way too much. I was kicking my feet giggling. I read Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles. This one is YA. When I tell you, when his sister called him out in here, I was like, good, because this boy had the audacity to join a purity group to try to get a girl and then be mad when she don't want him. Like, make it make sense. His friend told him, who told you you were nice? Because one thing I hate when men do is say girls don't want a nice guy, women don't want nice guys, they want bad guys. And it's like, who told you you were nice? Who made you the keeper of all things nice, if that makes sense? But yeah, so when he got called out, I loved it. Even his sister agreed. They had a come to Jesus moment with him, and I was like, good. Let's stop the rhetoric, okay? Just because you like her doesn't mean you are the nice guy. Period, point blank. I enjoyed this one. It was a fun read. Jackal. I read Jackal as a buddy read with Anne. She talked about it on her page. She DNF'd it. I read the entire thing. We both agreed that the writing was very good, and we did immersive readings, and we liked the narrator. She did a good job too. It was just very heavy. It was involving children, and it got really dark. So she put it down. I did tell her how it finished. The ending was a little lost for me. It did get supernatural at the end, and I just think you can have a horror without it being supernatural, and supernatural elements aren't necessarily my thing, even though I liked it in House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, but I don't think that one claimed to be a horror, and I think that's why I was okay with it placed in there. I don't know. But this one felt like it would have been, to me, more horror-ish had it not had the supernatural element, actually. I felt like it got a little bit silly, if that makes sense. I hate to say that because the writing was very good. It was really good. This is delicious. Y'all like my cup? My sister got it for me for Christmas, and I am definitely easily distracted by books. So I read The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jules, and It wasn't one of my favorite by her. I've read quite a bit. It's like up here on my shelf. But I did read The Family Remains this month, and I enjoyed this one a lot better. It does follow directly after the first book, so I'm not gonna say too much about it because it will give it away, but I enjoyed this one a lot more. I will say the cultish aspect that was in the first book wasn't in here, and I think that's why I enjoy it, because I don't think cult books are my thing. Actually, I know they're not my thing. They're not my thing in general. Like, I wouldn't watch a movie about a cult. It just isn't my thing. And so I enjoyed this one a lot more. I had more fun reading this one. So I'm glad that I picked it up. Yeah. I read The Blade Between by Sam J. Miller. And this one I got from the Dollar Tree. And so I was excited because I was like $1.25. But I did not have fun reading this. Like, I don't even really remember what it was about. I know there was some supernatural elements in here as well, and that was also lost on me. I feel like when it's unnecessary, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I didn't really care for this book too much. I didn't have fun reading it. Now, the reason I kept reading is because I know somebody's out there gonna be like, why didn't you DNF it? Because I was reading it via audiobook, and it's easy for me to get consumed reading an audiobook because I listen to it while I'm at work. And so when I'm zoned in on those Excel spreadsheets, my brain is not thinking, turn off this thing, you're not enjoying it. No, I'm just like going through the motions, and then the audio's played in my head. I'm still consuming it. I can still hear what's going on. However, I just don't feel the need to like turn it off. I don't know. It's just easy for me to like consume it that way when I'm not really into it. So that is why I did not DNF it. I read Sour Apples by Paul Jansen, and that one was not bad. I think he wrote well. I would just say it's more geared for children. And I would say maybe 11 through 16. I won't even see like a 17, 18-year-old enjoying it that much, to be honest. But it had a lot of baseball elements, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with baseball. So if you have a kid that's into sports, especially baseball, I think that would be a great book for a great book. What else did I read? I read Leave Something Behind by Daniel Vaccaro, and that one, chef's kiss. It was very good. It was a powerful love story, quick novella. I like Daniel Vaccaro's writing, and the main character was chasing aliens, or at least he was trying to discover aliens and other life source out there. And I love aliens. I identify as an alien, okay? So I had fun reading it. It was a good time. I think those are all the books I read in the second half of January. Yeah, I have another video already on my page about what I read in the first half of January. But happy Black History Month, guys. I love you all. Now get out of my house. That was straight shot of caramel.